Hello, everybody. This is Freddie from Blocktalk and Alex.
Alex Dirk.
Alex Dirk's in with us, and we got a couple of boys. But first, is going to introduce and mention our wonderful and fabulous sponsors: Quadriga CX, Canada's best Bitcoin trading platform. Excuse me. Oh God, one of these days I'll get it right. I'm just so tired today. And of course, Airbits, the best-looking Bitcoin wallet in the universe right now.
Yeah.
Yeah, and it's great. Also, there's a new sign-up thing. All new sign-ups get $2 American worth of Bitcoin for free. So yeah, if you guys have any questions about that, Twitter us and we'll get you that information.
Yeah, we'll maybe get something in the link before the end of the day.
Yeah, and Alex, you got some people here?
Yeah, so Quadriga is our other sponsor. These two guys from Wisconsin, I had to double check that. They are awesome, and they're building this beautiful platform, which is basically the trading view for cryptocurrency. You get all the professional tools, link all your exchanges and trade from one location, get alerts on your apps on your phone, and yeah, it's beautiful. So go to Quadriga.com/blocktalk to refer us and try it out for 30 days, and if you really like it, yeah, try out the full version.
Cool.
And then also our other sponsor, Jumbucks. This is the coolest altcoin around. It's a beautiful community, really fair launch, and we all love the Jumbucks team. They do so much for us, and we are currently doing a contest where we're auctioning off our crypto community cards. So look for that on Crypto Thrift, and we'll have something before the next show here. And yeah, join the Jumbucks Slack. So go to slack.getjumbucks.com and join the Slack where we have our Block Talk channel, and join the discussion that happens all week long, and we talk about what we're going to be doing on the show. And this week it is the So Sorry to New York bit license is being enacted today. So here to tell us more about that, we'll go to our first guest, Bill.
Hey guys.
Hi, Bill.
Hey, Bill. All right, so what can I tell you about it?
Well, first tell us where you're from for those at home who don't know who Bill is.
All right, so I'm Bill from Bittrex. You know, we're a cryptocurrency exchange. Most of us who work on it, we live out in Seattle. And yeah, I mean, we work with you guys quite a bit. We interact pretty heavily on our IRC channel, on Twitter, and in the Jumbuck Slack. So hopefully I'm your favorite because I spend a lot of time with you guys. Screw Richie and Rami, right? All right, so...
oh, we have some other guests. We got Ethan joining us again. Thanks for coming in,
guys.
And we got some beautiful guests here on our couch.
Oh yeah, they're beautiful.
Oh, do we have someone else?
We always have the dudes here. We got.
Oh, and looks like Nusi just dropped in too. Perfect.
Who did?
Nusi.
Nusi.
So yeah, he's probably just setting up his camera and fixing his hair and all that beautiful stuff. But he'll chime in here soon enough, I'm sure.
Hair looks nice.
So we'll go back to Bill. Bill, tell us about the application process for Bit License.
Well, you probably saw the pictures that Richie and Rami posted. It was about 202 pages.
God.
And I would tell you guys, our application is probably lighter than most of the other people who applied, and that's because we have no fiat component as of right now. So it's actually not, for us it wasn't that bad, it wasn't that expensive. And when I say not that expensive, you know, it probably cost us about $18,000 or $20,000, somewhere around that range.
What? Crazy.
That'd be outrageous for anyone who wants to start even like a simple wallet program, and they got to apply. Yeah, that's a lot of paperwork and funding that's required.
What is that funding required for? Just like application fees or what?
So there was about $5,000 in the application fee, and one of the things that the biggest expense actually wasn't our lawyers. The biggest expense ended up being our background checks. So you have to get someone who's licensed, I believe in the state of New York, who will run background checks on anyone who handles basically your coins. So anyone who's going to touch the funds has to have a background check run against them. And yeah, well, you know, if you think about it, that's actually a pretty important component, right? You don't want known criminals to be handling a lot of funds coming into your service.
Yeah.
But yeah, I mean, it's crazy. There was a lot of expenses that we hadn't anticipated, but we decided to forge ahead anyway.
So that's the kind of stuff that most exchanges should be doing anyways, but now it's a requirement, so there's an external agency that's checking that now.
That's right. There's aside from that, there's a whole bunch of interesting things that had to get delivered to them. We had to deliver them things like how money is processed through our system. So they wanted to understand, exactly what happens when someone deposits coins into our system. How do we ensure that your account is actually credited properly? We had to disclose to them our fee structure, how and when we took commissions out of the system, where those commissions went, and really it's just about making sure that anything that you traded for, you actually received. We weren't. They didn't want us to have some kind of deficit trading going on. So anytime a trade executed on our platform, we made sure that both parties were fully funded. On top of that, we also provided things like disaster recovery plans, security plans for our platform. We had to disclose to them exactly how we secured things. So a lot of, I think, good stuff that most businesses probably already have, and if they don't have it, then they should. So, from that perspective, that's why the legal aspect of it was really low. Our lawyers helped us through the paperwork, but most of what we needed already existed.
So did you guys have to take any data from users and give it to them, or?
No. So there's a requirement around AML and KYC, but we didn't have to disclose to them anything about our users right now. Like, I didn't give them a dump of our user database or anything like that. There's no requirement like that at all.
Okay, that's good.
This can't.
We got another wonderful guest here.
Hey. Who's that? Is that Cam? Oh, yeah. And you brought a lady with you.
Yeah.
Woo!
We're just having a show here, guys.
Okay, sorry.
That's okay, no worries.
Well, I hope they brought food for everyone.
Yeah, we got a painting. We've got
Nice painting. Did you do that?
Yeah, did you make that painting, bro?
Yeah, I did.
You're
Wow.
such a talented artist.
Cool.
That's what he does. He's a talented artist. Good to see you.
I'll see you guys in a bit.
All right, let's get back to work.
Thanks for stopping by.
Thank you. Gifts from above.
Yeah.
That was Cameron Taylor and his beautiful lady.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Nice.
Cool. So back to your Bittrex platform. Like, you guys, this is probably one of my favorite places to trade altcoins. Like, you guys, you always have seems to be the most volume in most markets. You get a lot of coins in very early, and like the clarity now in the amount of data that's available. Like, one thing that you guys added was the distribution tab. Like, Freddie, if you could go to my screen,
Yes, sir.
we can see like a distribution for all the wallets that are on an exchange here. So like Jade on Jumbuff, somebody's got a lot here that maybe they're planning on selling. We'll see. But it's very nice. You can do like whale watching and stuff. So this is the kind of stuff that really sets your exchange apart. But so I think all of us in the community, thank you guys for the awesome work that you're doing.
I appreciate it.
How many markets do you guys have?
How many markets do you have?
A lot. It's like 190 or something. I think in
gosh.
total, over the life of the exchange, we've had over 400 markets.
Yeah. So
Yeah, it's a lot of coins just are launching all the time. A lot of interesting things are happening in the community, and we try to support as much of it as we can.
So I know when we had Quadriga on the show before, it was Salon Talk way back, they said they don't do any altcoins because the costs related to it are so high. So how do you guys manage to have almost 200 altcoins, and then do you have 200 different relationships with developers, or you guys are kind of taking it upon it yourself to know the products that you have?
Well, I think there's a combination of both. So if you look at our list, we've got something called the verified markets, where those are people who have gone through a proof of developer, or we know who they are in the community, and so these are people who are building relationships with us. They notify us about their roadmaps and things like that. In fact, one of the things we've been launching a lot of older coins lately, and one of the things that really sets them apart, or or helps us want to launch them is when they're having good communication with us in terms of their roadmap. We see that they got a track record of delivering, and we try to add them where maybe in the past we hadn't added them for some reason or another. Like last summer, there were so many coins being launched that we just didn't get to some of them. And now we're going back and looking at some of the older coins who've survived, and we're interested in making sure that they get a place on the exchange. But on top of that, we just have a lot of automation, right? It's something that we've talked a little bit about in the Jumbucks channels. We build a lot of automation to make sure that we can monitor blockchain. And when we see things that are suspicious in the blockchain, we'll immediately shut down the market until we can review it. So in the past, before we had a lot of these safeguards, probably like last summer, people would be like, firing tweets at us or sending us texts on our phones saying, hey, we need to shut down this market, something's forked, something's weird. So to make sure that I don't have to wake up in the middle of the night or things like that, we've instituted a lot of safeguards. So if we see something suspicious in the blockchain, we will shut the market down, we'll shut the wallet down, and someone will manually review before we turn it back on. And so you'll see this periodically on the Twitter account where in the middle of the night, a bunch of people will start tweeting, asking, hey, something got, a market got shut down, what's happening? And usually it's one of our safeguards got tripped, and we need to just manually review it and make sure that everything's okay. Sometimes we contact the developer and we work through it with the developer. Other times it's just something that's benign, and we just turn the market back on and everything's fine. All of that's just to make sure that, whenever, sorry, I'm going to have to pause for a second here. But it's just to make sure that everything that, nothing screwy happening with the wallet. So if you deposit coins, those coins are still going to exist on the exchange.
Did you just have an alert go off about a blockchain failing?
No, I screwed up my scheduling. I thought this was at 12:30, so I have groceries coming, getting delivered, and the guy's at my door. So I'm going to have to grab bags from him. Okay. That's going to take like 2 minutes whenever he starts knocking.
Yeah, no, that's no problem. Like we can easily, we got a couple other topics here we can fill in with. But while we got you, I guess, do you guys have any questions about the altcoin exchange?
I was just curious. So would you shut down if someone's like, tries to sell too much or put too much in or buy, a high quantity or sell a high quantity?
Not right now.
Yeah.
We try to allow the market to be as free as possible. We want, we don't take any positions on the market at all, so we don't care. We just want to we just want to make sure that people can trade as fairly and freely as possible. The only thing we care about is, again, if something screws up with the blockchain. So if a gigantic deposit comes in, and that looks suspicious from a blockchain perspective, like we think the blockchain's forked or there's a double spend of some kind, then we'll shut it down. But if someone's accumulating a lot of the coin, we'll just let that happen. There's no reason to not allow that, right? People like to accumulate coins. People like to sell coins.
Sure.
So technical shutdowns only, no financial shutdowns.
That's right.
Wow.
Right.
That's
Yeah,
good.
there's no. We thought about this a little, but it feels like it's the wrong principle to take if we're shutting down because, there's a lot of trading happening, right? Like,
Sure.
How would you do that? I don't know of any fair or automated way to do that. So, but we're always taking feedback on this. So if people have great ideas on how we could institute this in a fair way or something that makes sense, we're always willing to look at it.
How do you guys make, if you don't mind me asking, how do you guys make if you don't take a percentage, how do you, where do you make your money?
Well, we do take a percentage of every trade.
Okay.
But what I mean when I say we don't take a position on it is we don't pre-accumulate coins. Like I've got no stake in any coin that trades on the exchange.
I see.
So how's your Ethereum launch going? You guys were one of the last ones to add the Ethereum market.
I do want to answer that, but give me 1 second here. Sorry, I have to mute you guys.
All right. While we're waiting on him, let's go back to my screen here, Freddie.
Sorry, dog.
So right now, with bit license being in effect, Bitfinex basically said that anyone who has their account listed as being in New York State, their Bitcoin balance will be transferred into U.S. dollars at 4 p.m. Eastern Standard Time. So that was almost an hour ago. And you can see we have a nice red candle here. And I'll take a moment here to just talk about our price bet. So last week, Greg won. He bet 269, and when I looked at the exact time that it happened, I should have drew a line, but it was at 266, and yeah, Greg just beat out Kelly on that one. So congratulations to him. Freddie, you did the worst because you were way too bullish.
I'm way too bullish because I want to experience more success.
Yeah. No, that's that's what we all want, I think. Right? So that's interesting movement that's going on right now with Bitcoin. We'll see. I think there's also a fork that's going on right now too with this whole block size debate. I don't know if it's happening today or last I read about 40 people were or 40% of the miners were voting for it, so they really just need one of the bigger pools to switch, and then they would have almost 60% of the mining.
Yeah, apparently down $4 since whatever happened this afternoon.
Yeah.
Satoshi commented on it.
Sorry, say that again, Ethan?
Since Satoshi may have commented on it, that's part of the reason why it's dropping, I think.
Oh yeah, that's the other thing that happened just today, and Cobain's been going hilarious about it on Twitter.
I'm sorry. Since what? I'm sorry.
So today, Satoshi's old email address, which I think got compromised earlier in the year, basically wrote a message saying, "Oh, this is my opinion of the block size debate." I haven't read the email yet, but it sounds like it's pretty funny. Like it's not something he would ever write. Have you read it?
Well, they matched his grammar. Yeah, I did. They matched his grammar perfectly. And I think BTC Drac on Twitter is doing analysis of the post. He just posted a full analysis, a technical analysis of his email account actually. So.
Actually communicates sometimes.
Let me go ahead and.
It's tough to say if Satoshi's actually communicated. I don't think we've actually heard anything from him in the last little while. But let me pull up the link that Ethan just sent me. Maybe we can put it up on screen here.
Yeah, that's direct analysis.
Here we go. Anyways,
Bill's back.
Bill?
Yes. Sorry about that, guys.
Dude, it's all good. What did you get for groceries today?
Well, I've been out of town for a week, so basically had to get everything.
Good. So you got some fresh vegetables, maybe some sliced cold cuts, or what?
No, well, chicken breast, steak, bacon, the important stuff.
Oh yeah, bacon. Bacon's really freaking good.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Yeah, we love bacon. So back to what Alex was saying there.
Yeah.
You were saying that.
The Ethereum launch. Well, we were just talking about the Satoshi email, so I'm just reading Drac's analysis of it here. BTC Drac, he's one of the smarter guys in the space here in terms of analysis and tracking stuff down. I'll maybe have to read more into this, but I'll post this pastebin in the Blocktalk room. So anyone who wants to see it, you got to join slack.getjumbucks.com, and then you can easily get on the front edge of the show and all the people that are on it. Come and join us and have a cool conversation.
Yeah.
All right, so back to Bill about the Ethereum market. So you guys were one of the last ones to get the Ethereum market actually going, it seems.
Yeah, for sure. And it's kind of unfortunate because the Ethereum guys reached out to us very early on, and we had anticipated being one of the first to launch Ethereum. So, we've been working with them pretty enthusiastically for a while. And I think one of the things that got us hung up is we ended up trying to implement something called IBAN, which was their preferred method for doing transfers from accounts. But unfortunately, when they launched Ethereum, they didn't fully support it. So we had built up a lot of infrastructure and a lot of code in our backend to support IBAN, and the implementation when they launched was incomplete. So ultimately, we tried to work with them and wait. We worked with them quite a bit in finding bugs, and they were fixing bugs, but again, that just caused delays. So that ended up being why we delayed for over a week. And I'll be honest, like even the IBAN thing right now, it's still not perfect. So instead, what we ended up implementing was the wallet importer. So you could take your the pre-launch wallet that you got from the ICO and import it directly into our site.
That's the same thing Crackin was doing too. I think that's why they got a lot of coins now from the pre-sale, because like you look at somewhere like Polynex where you actually had to send it to them. A lot of people were having a hard time with it.
They got incredible volume from it though, like something like 13,000 bitcoins, right?
Wow.
Yeah.
Yeah, but volume is kind of a weird figure too. Like it could be the same person trading back and forth. Like because you were saying last night the size of wallets. Like Polynex only has maybe like 200,000 coins, and Crackin maybe has 2 million.
Yeah, I mean it's something. I don't know how their wallet structure is, so who knows? I mean, I think there are other people who are doing more interesting analysis of the blockchain. That was just something that we observed. Like, I think the import tool helped Crackin get a lot of volume, so that ended up being really, you know. So I was surprised. I was surprised at how many deposits they got and how little the actual volume was on Crackin.
I'm sorry, what is Crackin?
Oh my
It's
God.
another exchange.
Come on, Charlie. What is Crackin? Charlie, you're fired. Okay.
So on the Ethereum watch, we had a pretty good pump earlier this week, but shortly after the last show, Joel Bosch from IOCoin, being the genius guy that he is, uncovered something very interesting about Ether. So there's about 65 million of that, just over 60 million available supply. But then there's a contract that has 12 million in it, so it doesn't show up in the supply. So a lot of people are saying, is this the Ether premine? It's been a very interesting topic, and I haven't heard anyone from the Ether team comment on it. There's basically 12 million coins that are unaccounted for.
Oh wow!
Like were mined in the pre-mine. So I don't want to crash the price here, but we need to find out from the Ether team what is this $12 million or 12 million coin account, because it doesn't show up on the biggest accounts here.
It's more than $12 million, right?
Well, 12 million, and then the coins are worth about 2 million apiece. So they basically have all their ICO funds still. But like they were given $18 million last year to create this network, and now they still have 12 million coins. Allegedly. Let's not be, I guess, getting any non-disclosure agreements here. But no, it's definitely something I've been trying to find an answer for somewhere. So we got to get the Ether guys on here. We're gonna have to tweet this out to them and be like, explain your shit here,
Yeah. What's up with Anthony? Is that Anthony from New Jersey?
Yeah. Anthony, are you there, bud?
I'm here. Can you hear me?
Yeah.
We can. What's going on with you?
One sec, just trying to see if I can get my picture showing.
Hey, Bill, just so you know, I don't know if you know Anthony personally, but he's in New Jersey right now.
Hey, what's up, Anthony?
Yo, what's up? You, where are you from?
Seattle.
Okay. Another high traffic area.
Yeah. And isn't Ethan from Toronto, from Seattle too? Is that where he's from? Then where are you from?
Yeah. I'm from Southern California.
Oh, SoCal, gotcha. Very good.
Yeah.
Cool. So what's our next topic there, Alex? We got Anthony in the conversation now.
I don't know if you want to add anything to the whole Ethereum thing that's going on right now, Anthony.
Yeah, I was actually wondering what's going on with the old Ether coin market. Is that just kind of instantly disabled once the Ethereum actually launched?
Are you asking me?
Yeah.
Oh, yeah. So they're doing a conversion on their own site. So we basically shut the market down. Anyone who's got trade or who holds the old that old coin needs to go and transfer it over to their site, and they'll do the conversion for you.
Okay.
I think we put a notice on the wallet.
Gotcha. Yeah, because what's interesting with that is I was actually looking at that market and doing some TA on it and noticed that a lot of the old levels and just kind of just the TA regarding that is actually pretty good to proxy on actual Ethereum. So I just went and loaded my old TA, and it's like invalid symbol, and I was like, oh shit.
Yeah, we just closed it was their request that we closed the market last night, and I think it was a good thing. It was causing some confusion with users anyway. So
Absolutely, yeah.
they're gonna handle the conversion. You can still withdraw out of the wallet on our website.
So I was checking their reserves, some of their addresses, and it looks like about half of the million coins have been claimed now. When you check a lot of these addresses on the Ether chain, so right now that market's probably down to about 5 million coins because they get burned whenever they get traded. At least that's what I'm thinking. So yeah, these first 3 wallets are empty, and this next one's like half empty. So we're just over 500,000. So that's a lot of coins coming on the market. That's almost as many as the pre-sale coins. But yeah, there's still like Ethereum never really launched a nice wallet, like even a QT wallet. It's like it's all command line. Yeah. So that's why a lot of exchanges are doing the imports, I guess.
Yeah. We got a lot of feedback from users who wanted an easier way to transfer coins around. They just couldn't figure out the wallet.
Yep, that's right.
That's pretty scary.
It's totally scary.
No, what I mean by that is for the future price of it, if you really think about it, almost every launch we've ever had of a coin with a non-easy-to-use wallet, even dating back to Darkcoin, kind of speculators, and I mean like uber early speculators have the huge advantage. So, there might be some really, really big blood coming once kind of the layman's person gets a wallet in their hands that they can actually launch and easy to use, and then they're like, oh wow, like I better sell this before other people also launch this easy to use wallet.
Oh, interesting.
Yeah, that's interesting. Huh.
Like with Darkcoin, some people call it an Instamine and other various, not even limited to Darkcoin. I don't want to just, kind of FUD them, but just various coins in various states early on, they launched without kind of the ease of use things. I mean, even pools weren't ready back then for various coins, and early adopters, if you will, just people that knew how to make things work, they had the advantage. So I'm just kind of wondering what's going to happen when things get just easier and all the available tools are there. I think there's going to be a lot of cash outs.
In terms of development too, it sounded like a lot of it was hinging on Vitalik. Like he was like the sole person for the project, so not everything was done, I guess, 100% for the launch. Because right now, even in the last interview I saw with him, forget the name of the podcast, but I'm sure I can find it. He was basically saying not much has changed now. All we really have is a network. They were running on a test net for a long time, and now they have the actual network. So in terms of development, like there's still so much to do. So the story's long from over.
This is with Ethereum, correct?
Yes.
Yeah. Well, I guess I'll throw a contrarian view here, and I just gonna disclose I have no position in Ethereum, but an easier to use wallet means more mainstream attention, right? It's gonna widen the scope of people who can get access to it, who might be interested in it. So I don't know that I would directly correlate a bad wallet to or a better wallet in the future. I don't know that I would say it's going to generate a price dump. For all we know, once Ethereum goes fully live and they've got a great wallet, it's going to attract a lot of mainstream attention and a lot more users and a lot more interest.
So they're not fully live yet?
Well, I mean, they've got their command line wallet, right? I mean, what I mean with live, I mean, a more user-friendly wallet that's more accessible.
Yeah.
I see.
Probably a really big opportunity there too. You know what I'm saying?
Yeah, unless you have a GUI, you're not anywhere near live.
Sure. And I know from my experience doing support on Bittrex and a lot of the feedback we get from our users, there's a surprising number of people who aren't technically savvy, right? There are a lot of people who are very good traders who are extremely skilled at it. They made a lot of money on Forex, or they're ex-Wall Street guys who love to trade but have no technical skill whatsoever. And for them right now, Ethereum is unapproachable.
Yes.
But in the future, it can be.
Mm-hmm.
Right.
Well, it was crazy that even like before a lot of exchanges were up, like there was already margin on it, which is unreal. Like half the you're talking about like less than 1% of the supply was probably on an exchange, and they already were establishing contracts for it.
Yep.
That's really interesting. That's really dangerous too, though.
Yeah, I mean, right now, when this is a huge opportunity zone, and and it's opportunity because it works both ways. You're saying there's margin, and yeah, I mean, you can long it, you can short it, and then anyone technically savvy, I mean, they have an advantage right away because they can use it, or they can refer it to a friend that's technically savvy. But yeah, what we're seeing right now in terms of volume, yeah, I think it's a small segment of the future, in a good way.
I totally agree with you.
Yeah.
Yeah, it's the platform has so much potential to it. You know what I mean? It's just not like a regular altcoin to me at all whatsoever, and it's nowhere near a shitcoin.
Yeah, no, they've broken new ground with this 15-second block time and this new way of resolving forks. But it's kind of funny that it still takes 24 hours for a confirmation on an exchange. Can you, Bill, can you comment maybe on that number going down on 6,000 confirmations?
Yeah, it's gone down significantly actually. I think last night. So they've lowered the confirmation counts or the recommended confirmation counts down significantly. I think last night or maybe a few days ago when we launched it, we had set it to 750, I believe. So it's gone down as they've gotten more and more confidence around their network. So this is something that the Ethereum team's been publishing and they've been really transparent about. As they get more and more confident, they've been setting or they've been lowering the recommended minimum confirmations down. So it's going to come way down. I think the network has been, as far as I can tell, the launch of their network has been successful.
Are the tools? Do you know if the tools are available yet to develop Ethereum apps, or is it still just a coin for trading at this point?
Good tell. They're available.
I think it's still available because I mean, there's programs like Augur that are already sort of starting to run.
Yeah.
Oh, okay.
One thing I think that held up, they invested more time in with development is they wanted to program in several different languages.
Yes.
So they probably could have got maybe a wallet done, but then they wouldn't have gotten like Python enabled wallets. So they want to make sure the platform would work in every language before they launched.
I don't understand why a third party hasn't developed, or there's got to be a third party working on it.
I think a lot of people are probably working on it, and that's the idea I think behind like what Vitalik was saying. Like this is good tech, and we don't really care if we make a lot of money. We want this thing to be like Linux, like the initial team. Maybe they don't get paid a whole lot, but they might break out into their own areas and start companies built on Ethereum.
Like a Linux deal.
Yeah, because like they're all the experts in it right now. They're the hottest people in computer science right now.
Yeah.
So yeah, they're valuable in more ways than one.
I heard that some people were losing their coins on Ethereum though. Just there was some little bugs and coins were going missing or something. That
was something Drac actually posted about too. Apparently in the Windows wallet, it automatically sent your coins to a null address when you downloaded and loaded up your pre-sale address. I don't know if it's true or not, but I think a lot of people maybe lost coins just by opening up a wallet.
I think it's true. I think it's definitely true though, from what I've heard from a lot of people. That people are commenting on this.
Yeah, I think there's a way you can look in the Block Explorer and look at that null address, and you can see all the deposits that went to it.
Oh, that's awful.
That's crazy. That's totally crazy.
Yeah, their priority was not on moving the coins around. It was more just getting the network up and running. So I think they'll get to that eventually. But yeah,
sure.
The hype is gonna die down a little bit here. I wouldn't be surprised if we saw ICO prices again.
Yeah, maybe.
Anthony, what's your opinion on maybe future Ethereum price?
Well, 99% of coins I've ever seen traded have gone below ICO price. That's kind of where I just put an alarm on most markets and just wait. So I kind of come from a pessimistic and realistic view. I see it going ISO price or or less. So I'm just waiting for that pretty much. Right now, I mean, I think it's cool that it launched with margin because you can accumulate even if you're shorting. So.
Yeah, I know Greg's doing that right now. I think he's probably accumulated 500 or so coins just from doing leverage trading.
Yeah, and I think the leverage is going to keep it alive too. I mean, most other alts don't have leverage trading, especially on like sites like I think Crackin. They have leverage trading on Crackin, right? Do they?
I'm not sure.
Or is it just Poloniex?
Well, Crackin has talked about it, but I don't know actually if they rolled it out, but they have talked about it in the past.
Huh, okay. Well, either way, it's one of the few coins on Poloniex that has leverage, and especially so close after launch. So, I mean, that's definitely going to give it, you know, a lasting advantage, I think.
Yeah,
I completely agree.
So, in regards to leverage, I think Bittrex guys, I've heard you on VIX's podcast before talking about maybe adding leverage markets for altcoins. Is that something we might see on Bittrex in the future?
Yeah, I think that's one thing. So I'm not going to tell you when we're going to launch it, but one of the things that this Bit license is a step towards is things like leverage and things like fiat, right? So I think people, one of the reasons we've been focused on doing the Bit license was not just because we wanted to legitimize our business, which I think people can argue about whether it did or didn't do that, but it's a stepping stone to getting the other features out there. So yeah, at some point in time, we're going to have fiat and we're going to have leverage. Maybe it's sooner than some people think.
Cool. Because I think that's the main reason why we're seeing massive amounts of volume on Ether. It's just people trading leverage back and forth.
Yeah, it could be. I haven't studied the market all that much, to really understand where the volume comes from. I think there are a lot of other people who are probably much better at doing that than I am anyway. Our focus at Bittrex is always about making sure that the market performs, the infrastructure that supports all these markets is performing well, and we don't study the actual markets too hard.
So yeah, security should be the utmost importance for an exchange. So I applaud you guys for putting that as your first priority.
Yeah, I actually want to point that out. Bittrex is the main exchange that I have the most confidence in because it's just, I don't think you guys have ever been hacked as far as I know, and it's sad that that's such a high mark out there, yeah. But yeah, that's just one of the first things I think of anytime anyone's ever said anything detrimental about you guys. I just refer them to that, like, yeah, they've never been hacked, so what else you got on any other exchange, so.
Well, that's been our focus and our priority, but every time somebody brings that up, I always knock on wood. So,
yeah,
there's no perfect security. No, I don't think anyone's invulnerable, but we try as hard as we can to, like I said, put in as many gates as possible, and make, in some ways, security is kind of like, it's a neighborhood, right? All the different exchanges are in a neighborhood, and you want to have the most secure house, because then the thieves are going to go hit everyone else, right? And so that's kind of unfortunately how it is, but we've done everything that we possibly can to keep the security as top notch as possible. We're constantly auditing, constantly reviewing it.
So you guys use cold wallets for a majority of your storage?
We have cold wallets. We have lots of wallets. I guess I don't want to go into like too deep of a description on how this thing works, but basically funds are staged. We have a lot of different kinds of wallets. Different wallets for different purposes, I guess I would say.
So we were talking earlier just a little bit about Litecoin. So the countdown is about 10 days when the next reward drop halves.
Yeah.
And we haven't really seen any action since that last big pump. We had a pretty good show on it before. Freddie, if you mind pulling up the chart for me.
Got it.
So yeah, we had a nice run up to here about 0.033 of a Bitcoin, and we've kind of settled down back at this level. But I don't know, are we going to see more action here before the halving? We only got another week. We'll see. This is kind of now that there's competition with like market volume, I mean even like arbitrage. Like I don't think people are going to use Litecoin that much anymore for arbitrage if Ether starts coming down in price.
Okay, it's not showing, but it's probably showing in the broadcast.
Okay.
What's the advantage of Litecoin over Bitcoin?
Faster.
Is it?
That's about it.
Yep, I agree with you. I totally agree with you. It's a piece of shit.
Really?
Yep,
Yeah.
shiny
Yeah, I mean, even for all its insults and everything, there's the picture of the blockchain with the rock and whatnot. The main ignored feature of, and it's not a feature, the main ignored thing about Litecoin is that it's got a very healthy network. The hash rate is insanely high. You can go on Coin Wars or whatever kind of hash rate site, and you'll see it's really, really high. And the health of a network is one of the most ignored things. So this also goes out to Viacoin and Syscoin, I think, is like top 10 sometimes. But yeah, the health of a network, which is directly tied to its security. How many people are hashing it means how the least vulnerable it can get, because in complete contrast, you can fork various newly launched crappy coins in seconds, or take control of their networks. And I'm not a blockchain expert by any means, but yeah, Litecoin definitely has some attention, even if it's from people mining to dump or whatever.
Yeah, it has attention, but I mean, it has nowhere near the sort of real-world applications as Bitcoin does, and I mean that's really key, because Ethereum actually has like a specific use, like you use it to buy smart contracts, and Bitcoin is being used as like the first like real-world crypto, but Litecoin doesn't really have anything. It just has fast block patterns.
No, Litecoin has its name on a lot of sites for the past couple years, and it's not even a matter of if it's good or bad or what we think of it. De facto standards take a long time to devolve, and this is from an IT background. There's Windows 2003 boxes, Windows 2000 boxes. Hell, there's Windows NT boxes from places that just don't know how to depreciate things. So even if I agree with you, which I do to an extent, that Litecoin is lacking lots of features from other things, it's got that history on its side, and a lot of people don't want to move past it and/or script.
So, Nusi, you do a lot of mining. Do you see a lot of hash rate dropping off after this block halving, and maybe other script coins are going to jump in hash rate?
I don't actually do a lot of mining, but I just kind of look at the different rates at times, because they help as a trader. But I don't really see anything kind of fluctuating. It's just miners are going to go where it's most profitable. There's a lot of profit switching pools out there still, and we kind of see the cycle of when Litecoin's actually going to pump, dependent on if all the Litecoin-based coins are getting pumped and/or dumped. You can see a correlation on Cryptsy or wherever holds stuff like Rabbit Coin or whatever.
I see. But so no competition with other script coins, because we have a lot of ASICs for script now, and
yeah, that's what it comes down to. Is they just want to use what's around, so they're gonna throw it up on a pool, and if Litecoin gets selected on whatever multi-pool, that's what's gonna get it at the time.
I see.
Right.
Okay. So yeah, that we'll have to check up on it one more time before it halves on the next show. But okay, so I do have the chart up here now. Sorry, Freddie. I think what happened before was my Hangouts crashed. My laptop's getting on its last legs here, but I'll get some. I'm getting a new gaming PC soon, and I will rip through some pretty cool video edits. So we're coming up on an hour here, but we can maybe do some conversation on Bitcoin. Let's maybe take another look at the chart to see how much we've dropped from this whole Bitfinex not liquidating accounts, but forcing people to sell.
Why did they force people to sell? Why did they close it down? It's just curious.
Because of bit license, yeah. Like
They don't have a license.
yeah,
Oh, I see.
I see. What have any other exchanges done the same thing? Or
Uh, Polynex, I think, had to leave because I don't think they were doing bit license.
so they shut down now.
Yeah, Crackin, I think, was in the same boat too. But Bitfinex, I think, is going to be the biggest one. I'm not sure about Bitstamp. Bitstamp's registered already, I believe.
Yeah, Stamp has a license.
Yeah. So, no worries there. But the timing of this just seems so suspect. Okay, so earlier this week, I got in a bet with a miner in the Jumbucks room, where I say the U.S. dollar is going to crash before the end of September, or at least we're going to see some big negative price movement.
You think so?
Because we're coming up on the end of a 7-year cycle. Like the last crashes in 2008, the one before that was in 2001, and they were both in September. Like market events usually happen in September. It always seems.
What happened with the interest rates?
I think we have the FOMC meeting in September 15th, and I'm guessing there's probably going to be a rate hike with that. That's my prediction, and that's one of the parts of the bet.
Another 08?
Yeah, possibly. We'll see. Like, the books have to be settled, so it's kind of interesting that this whole bit licensing happened now a month before. So we're getting like the exodus of crypto from New York. It's not all gone, but I think a lot of people were probably like, oh, well, that was fun for a little bit.
Yeah, it might take something to happen to the U.S. dollar to give Bitcoin some real serious movement.
What's going on over there, Newt? It's only got a birthday party happening.
No, actually, a couple weeks ago was my daughter's birthday, and yeah, that's one of the many balloons in this house that haunt me. And there's been periods where I'm sleeping and I wake up and it's right near my damn face because of the air condition moving it around the house. And I've thought about popping it, but I'm not that quite evil.
Sure. Absolutely sure.
Don't pop the balloon.
Yeah, I mean, but if it happens to get in a deflated state by accident, I mean, may not be me or a fork.
Yeah, it's amazing how long they last now.
Yeah.
Like when we were kids, they would last a day, and now these things last for freaking weeks.
Yeah.
Yeah, no, it's ridiculous. I thought it would have died of natural causes by now.
Yeah.
Oh man.
Yeah, I have a balloon still from my birthday on the 31st, and it's still holding up.
Yeah.
They must be pumping it with the same things as GMOs, you know? You got food that lasts a year, maybe a balloon will last a year.
Huh.
Where do I get a Bitcoin flag?
You have to order one.
Oh yeah.
So we're getting close to an hour.
Yeah, let's start doing our wrap up here for Bitcoin price bets. Well, we don't do an actual bet anymore, but maybe once we get the Ethereum contracts figured out, me and Freddie are gonna make that our first project.
That's right.
We'll do a price bet with an Ethereum contract every week.
Yeah. So should we start with let's start with our guest.
Okay. Yeah.
Start with Bill. He's been quiet for so long. Some patience.
You want me to predict the Bitcoin price?
Yeah. What's it gonna be next Friday at 7?
Yeah, you're
next
allowed,
Friday?
Bill. It's not on
So,
your exchange.
Are we talking about Price is Right rules here? So if I, or is it just straight?
Yes, I'll wait till everyone goes, and I'll be that dollar guy.
Yeah. All right. So.
No, it's not Price is Right rules.
Yeah, no, whoever's closest.
Yeah.
All right.
No, that's fair.
Man, I'll be honest. I think you guys have heard me say this, man, but I don't pay attention to any of that stuff. But let's go with 290.
That's my bet last week.
290. Okay, yeah. I'll draw you in.
I'll be optimistic. Let's go with 290.
That's cool.
Okay. Ethan, you're number 2 here. What do you think?
Oh, geez. I don't really know. It all kind of depends on whether or not that was really Satoshi. So, I don't know. I'm going to say What are we at now? We're at, I'll use US dollars to make it simple. 264 we're at on Finex. 260? 260 maybe?
You think we're just going to stick around the same level here? Okay.
We might.
Anthony.
I'm gonna say 250.
All right. Give me 1 second. I'm writing.
You guys are depressing me.
Yeah,
250.
I'm generally pretty bullish too, but I'm gonna stay bullish this week too. You got it there, Alex?
Yeah, I'm ready for you.
All right, I'm gonna go bullish. I'm gonna go more bullish than Bill. I'm gonna say 295.
Damn. All right.
Wow.
I don't know. I'm just playing. It's not like there's any money on the line. You know what I mean?
It's like poker hand, all in.
Yeah, all in, seriously.
So you said 295?
Yeah, let's do it.
Okay.
Something might happen next week. You know what I mean? So, and then Charles, what are you thinking?
I'm gonna go with where you're going. I say 280. I
Okay.
think it's gonna.
All right.
It's a guess.
Right in the middle here. 280. Okay. Our last guest here. You.
Say 245.
245. Well, that's what it's going to be because you seem to be right all the time.
Wow.
I dig it. I dig it.
Yeah, so
All right.
who won last week?
Greg Peacock did.
Yeah. So I guess that his class with Brian Beamish is maybe paying off a little bit.
Yeah, he nailed that one.
We'll see.
And you're next, Alex.
Geez. So looking at my symmetry chart here that I tweeted out, I basically predicted the next 2 months of Bitcoin, and it's going to look a lot like the reverse of the last 4 months. So we might go down to this new level here, but I think we're probably going to be like 240. I'm going to be real bearish. I see a lot of, because you don't have to follow this line exactly, but the levels that you see here, yeah, if we drop down from this level, we're probably going to go back to 240 area. Maybe we'll hear something about Gemini in the future, but yeah, this timing is perfect. Like this new floor here again, that's September 15th, the FOMO meeting. So yeah, I'm gonna say 240.
Wow.
Wow.
What date is that US dollar crash?
Oh, by the end of September. So that's what's gonna happen, and if it does happen, I win a whole Bitcoin. So
Wow.
I'm looking forward to it.
Right. When the world gets destroyed, you're gonna win 1 Bitcoin.
Yeah, fuck yeah.
That's hilarious, man. That's so funny. Hey,
The internet will crash, and you're not even gonna get paid.
That's so funny.
As long as the internet's still up.
But he won, though. That's the point.
Yeah.
All right.
That's what it's all about. All right. So
Wrapping it up.
I think so. I don't know if we got it. Do you want any announcements for BitTrex while we got you here?
Well, I just wanted to say, a lot of the cool stuff that we talked about, the safeguards on the markets, a lot of the heavy lifting that happened with the Ethereum stuff, that's all Richie and Rami. Those guys are the technical horsepower that runs Bittrex. I'm the business development guy. I do a lot of the compliance work. So that 202-page document was unfortunately my doing. But yeah, a lot of the technical stuff. Richie's, he's the expert on all wallets. If you guys have questions on any of that stuff, he knows. And Rami is just a brilliant architect. He's the guy who's mastered all the security around a lot of our stuff with Bittrex. So I want to give a shout out to those guys, as well as Ryan, who does a lot of the support for us. So somebody mentioned that Bittrex support, they get responses very quickly and resolution of issues very quickly. That's Ryan. Ryan's he doesn't sleep. He answers tickets all the time. So just want to give a shout out to all the guys that work at Bittrex. They're working their asses off for you guys, and but we appreciate all the love we get from the community. So we're happy to come on the show and happy to hang out with you guys on the Jumbuck Slack in our IRC channel.
Much love here.
Thank you.
Yeah, right.
Any update on those USD markets you were maybe mentioning?
They're coming. I don't want. So there's a lot of legal mumbo jumbo and hurdles that have to happen. So I'm basically going to be heads down doing a bunch of that junk. So I can't tell you yet when that's going to happen, but I'm hoping soonish.
Okay.
All right.
Whatever that means.
Well, thanks for waking up early for us, Phil, and we appreciate you coming down and all the hard work you and your team does. It's really top quality.
2:30 in the afternoon. It's past my, it's past my bedtime. I should be napping right now.
Yeah, that's what I'm thinking too.
Yeah.
Nap time.
Nap time.
Yeah. Let's say goodbye, everybody. Anthony,
All right,
thank
thanks,
you
guys.
so much for saying hello. Phil, thank you. And Ethan, take care, brother. You guys all have a beautiful day.
Thanks, Ethan.
And we'll see you later. Bye, guys.
Bye.
Bye-bye. Thanks, guys.
See you in the next 1,000 blocks.
Yeah, the next 1,000 blocks.
Yeah.